Right, okay, I've shown you my completed first aid kit maybe 3 weeks ago. There was a couple of extra additions that I put in there. One was the SAM splint, which I may demonstrate at a later date. But what I'm going to do now is demonstrate the tourniquet. It's a simple principle, but you've got to bear in mind, if you're ever resorting to a tourniquet, it's going to be messy. It's serious. Bleeding can kill you in a minute. Excessive bleeding, if you lose those vital pints of blood, there's very little chance of getting back. So when it comes to your first aid principles, breathing obviously is your first priority.
Do you not drink your blood?
Bleeding, no, you can't drink your blood, that's not going to replenish.
How?
Because it just goes into your stomach. Okay. You've got to get the blood into the veins. The heart needs to pump the oxygen around the body.
Did you not cut a bit of vein so it would go into the vein?
This is what I'm working with. You feel my pain, people. Right, okay.
They shouldn't, because I'm lovely.
Right. Bleeding. Need to stop bleeding. If you're ever going to use a tourniquet, it's going to be messy. You've got serious blood loss issues. You come across someone who's bleeding, there are means and ways of cutting that bleeding down, slowing the bleeding down. If we've got an arm bleeding from the arm, we can apply pressure. That's our first thing. Try and either get a field dressing or a wound dressing, and then we elevate the wound. We're elevating the wound, we're trying to slow down the flow of blood from the heart, making it harder. So if it's in the leg, get them on the back, elevate them.
I think you're cutting the circulation in my
There you go. That's applying pressure and elevating the wound.
That's so...
You can, if you know your pressure points, you can apply pressure as well. That's uncomfortable for them. But if you're coming to that point, it's uncomfortable for them anyway. Your patient is probably going to be panicking. The fact that if it's serious bleeding, it's probably arterial bleeding. So there'd be the pumping force of the heart actually squirting blood out. So we are just going to, we're gonna pretend that there's a serious wound to a leg. And what we really need to do is stop that bleeding.
Have I done gymnastics to hurt myself?
Shh. So there is femoral artery inside there. You can elevate the leg and stick your heel in there and try and pinch that artery against the pelvic bone. That is one way. If you have a tourniquet, that's going to be less fuss. So this is the tourniquet itself. It's a simple strap with a buckle, with Velcro, and then you're going to tighten it up with that. Simple. So all we're going to do, put your leg inside there, and go as high up the leg as we can. That'll do for now. I'm going to pinch that tight. Then that Velcro will hold that in place. So now I'm going to take the slack up. We've got like this ribbon inside it. So if I pull that slack up, and then I can start twisting and twisting.
No.
Blood is lashing out of here now. You've tried applying pressure, elevating the wound, you tried pinching the artery, it's not happening. You don't have much time to react. This person is going to die very, very soon if you don't stop that bleeding.
My leg's going to...
So you need to stop it. And you twist.
No!
And you twist. And you twist until that bleeding stops. This person's going to be screaming out in pain because the amount of pressure that you are exerting on that limb.
No, please stop.
We're not going to do it anymore. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Okay? That's as tight as it's going to go. Okay.
It's nipping
We'll
me.
loosen it a bit. Right. So imagine we have twisted and twisted and twisted and twisted until the blood has stopped now. It's stopped pumping out. Now that has stopped blood going all the way down. So it's really important that while this has been going on, that someone has alerted the emergency services. You can write down there the time on which you applied that tourniquet. You just have to bear in mind that because you're cutting off the blood to the whole of that leg has now stopped receiving oxygenated blood. Oxygen giving life to that limb.
A gymnast.
So,
His leg cut off.
so if you left that on there, that leg would slowly start to die. So it's not a long-term thing. You can't keep that thing on there. But that is in essence how we use a tourniquet. So that's all we're doing.
Thanks.
It's just an extreme
Thank
way,
goodness.
an extreme way of applying pressure to that limb. Yeah.
At least my leg.
So that's it. That's how you use a tourniquet.
Is that it?
Let's hope you never have to use one, because it's incredibly
It
messy,
feels like it's
And
still on me.
and it can be scary, and people can panic. So
Obviously, people will panic with that thing on their leg tightening their.
they'd be more concerned that the blood is still coming out of them. That'll save people's lives. Right. God bless. Bye.
Ah!